Hi guys, this week's vlog is all about events that have come up this week and mainly around the realm of marketing, so let's get to it. So the four subjects for today's vlog are all kind of related. It's all around the marketing sphere, but it's loosely: one, do I need a website for my business? Two, once I've got one, how do I get traffic to the website? Three, social media followings. How important are they? What do I do with them? How do I build them? How does that actually increase my sales? And lastly, do I need marketing to increase my sales? So I'm going to answer the question of, do you need marketing to increase your sales? Yes and no. Quite often a sales operation will be a quicker, more effective way of gaining new sales than a marketing operation. But the two can be very, very, very closely linked, and it all depends on how your customer engagement happens. My sales manager for a different business called me up the other day and says, "Hey Alex, look, I think we need to do some more marketing to gain more interest in the brand, therefore, because we need to increase our overall sales." And I said, based on last year's performance, what we actually need are between 30 and 50 new customers. And I want you to call our 20 best customers and ask them to recommend 2 to 3 people who we should speak to each. And lo and behold, in a very short period of time, that's already yielded far more than I imagine a marketing campaign would have. But that is a very particular instance, and it won't work in every way. But you should never close the door to the possibility of just going direct down a sales route if that's the way that you can engage. So, common misconception one: I need a website to get more customers. No, you don't. But it may well be a very useful tool on the way to getting more customers. The whole "I need a website because I need more customers" kind of idea is because they haven't thought about the architecture of their business, or they certainly haven't developed any form of marketing strategy. If you're making that kind of statement, "Oh, I need to get a website because I need more customers," well, you need to think more about how you're going to find your customers, how you're going to develop your customer base, what you're offering them, long before you think, "Hey, I just need a website." Let's move on. So, I need to do some marketing. Yeah, you probably do. But what type of marketing? Where are you finding this? It's expensive. Well, maybe it's not. Again, a whole bunch of these things. If I need to do some marketing, I need to get people to my website. But this is how it usually goes. We go, "Oh, I need a website. Oh, now I've made a website, and now I need to do some marketing to get people to my website." Yeah. Shouldn't this all have been part of one plan? And when the first question is, "I need more customers," quite often it's not the first question. People go, "I need a website, and now I need to do some marketing to get people to," "Oh, you've heard it, Google search engine optimization. I need to do that. I need to do search engine optimization." So they go all down this path of doing search engine optimization. They find out what it is, and then they find out it's expensive to do search engine optimization. So then they decide to do some of it themselves, and they do some of the research. And a lot of the systems now, use WordPress, if you use Shopify, if you use any of the popular platforms out there, have these plugins which are excellent, which anybody who's got a basic grasp of word processing skills and can do a bit of research can probably do quite effective SEO. Problem is, it takes a long time, and if they don't understand what they're targeting and why, they're probably going to go down a path for a long time before they realize it's not doing them any good, and it's a massive waste of time. On the flip side, you can look at direct advertising online. And you see all of these different mechanisms in place, and there's so many marketeers out there queuing up to take people's money on this stuff, but actually they still haven't asked the correct fundamental questions at the start. And that's why it usually fails, because they have set out down the wrong path from day one. Again, it comes down to customer identification, which I've done a whole video on, so go and check that out. Social media, following, advertising, networking. One of the most common misconceptions about marketing is, I need a big social media following. Well, first of all, which social media platform are we talking about? What are you selling? Who are you selling to? Where are those groups of people? And if we're talking specifically about social media, I will say this. First of all, social media followings are not important at all in some areas, and they're hugely important in others. So it just depends on what we're talking about. What is it that you do? Well, largely, if you're a chip shop on a street by the coast, you do not need a big social media following. Or it depends on there may be the odd exception to this rule, but on the whole, you would not need to worry about a big social media following. If you're a brand, you want a lot of people interested in your brand, and I would agree to a degree that a brand with a bigger following will look like it's doing stuff, but in the long term, when people come to look at your social media or they look at your page, they don't go, oh, he's only got 50 followers, I'm not interested. Marketeers would look at that. Other businesses might look at that. But generally, the general public won't. Either the content on the page is something they're interested in or it's not. They're not really interested in how many followers you've got. In fact, there's a thing called early adopters who kind of, if they discover something that they think's cool, that they want to get involved with, the very fact that they are early on, they've got involved, they like the page, they follow what's going on, they're the people who are most likely to share your content, and you can develop very direct relationships with those people who can then in turn become kind of brand ambassadors. That is a strategy all into itself. But the big message here is social media following is in direct relationship to how engaged your following is, and it's very, 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 very dependent on what it is that you do and what it is that you sell. And just to finish this off, and this is in relation specifically to Facebook, but I think the same applies very much to Instagram, almost certainly to Twitter, and to a lesser degree on some of the others, that selling directly on these types of platforms was once described to me like selling to your pals in the pub. That's exactly right. If you imagine you sat with a group of people, you may know them, you may not know them, and you're going, hey, look, I just wrote a book. Do you want to buy my book? Look, read it, it's really good. Look, there's my book. Oh, do you want a copy? Yeah, look, it's only $5.99. And everybody's going, oh, who's this guy? That's what selling on social media is like. It needs to be teasing and generally just getting people lightly involved. Oh, did you know I wrote a book? Yeah, I've been working on it for a little while. Oh, it's about marketing in the modern world. Yeah. You know, have you got it published yet? You want to start conversations, and the dullest person in the world in a conversation is somebody who just basically constantly talks about themselves. People aren't interested in you, they're interested in them. And that is one of the truest things in marketing as well. And I could list up a whole bunch of books about this, but if you really want to know about social media marketing, check out Gary Vaynerchuk. So there's the big tip. Go and check out Gary Vaynerchuk. He's about as expert as you could possibly be in the grand scheme of social media marketing. So what's the answer to all of these questions? What's the one answer I can give you to help this along the way? Well, the short answer is you really need somebody a little bit like me in your business. Now, I'm not saying that should be me. I'm saying you need someone a little like me. Whether it's somebody who's been there, seen it, done it, whether it's somebody who's got that kind of technical knowledge who can give you an insight to the information that you've been given from marketeers, where somebody may turn around and go, yeah, look, this guy's proposal looks pretty good. Or you need to get clued up on all the things that will give you that information before you press the button on marketing campaigns that send you down the wrong path. You can get this with consultancy, but I will say, even though I'm headed in the direction personally of taking on a very limited group of clients, consultancy clients, a lot of consultants play the same game as the marketeers, where they kind of drag people along a path for a long time, jumping on ideas and then riding that for a while and being encouraging and making soothing, warm noises about all the money that they're going to make sometime in the future, but they don't deal with the here and now and don't give really practical, straightforward, let's do this and let's measure the results in a very short period of time kind of look at things. And that's really what you need, especially if you're a small business or a lifestyle business where you don't have a lot of wiggle room in terms of your marketing spend and the time that it takes you to do it. And the time can often be a bigger issue than money. Until next time, I'll see you soon. It's not the website that gets you the customers, is it? It's the getting people to your website that gets the customers. And even then, when you get the people to your website, is your website doing the things that will lead them to make contact with you or make a purchase or so on and so forth? There's a lot of different questions. So then it becomes the structure of your website. I see so many people building a website and then they show it to me after they've done it, and then they go, right, what do you think of this? And I'm really trying not to go, it's utter garbage and you need to start again. It's not their fault. They simply have been very poorly advised by a website designer. And website designers have become like a pseudo-marketing group. They're not marketeers a lot of the time. Some of them are, but a lot of the time they're not. They're technicians. And it would be like asking a bricklayer to just make you a house. They're more than capable of laying bricks, and they'll do a great job with the walls and but don't ask them to design it. That's why you go to an architect.